50 was a Meech fan. Let's make it clear. 50 couldn't, everybody wanted to be a Big Meech. But you could best be clear, 50 wanted to be a Big Meech. He just wasn't able to do it. He didn't accomplish it.
I'm gonna take the same kind of money that you would get and get it to the homie. And go shoot your yeah? All of a sudden, everybody don't remember nothing. Yeah, look, let me ask you a question. How much you think it would cost to kill somebody?
Scared. Nobody's scared of 50, first of all. What's disturbing to me is looking at the public and how the public takes what he does. And I heard a radio station guy on sports radio today, and he was like, man, that 50 boy, I pity the person who goes against him, and I pity it. I'm saying to myself, that's not the message.
Just when you thought 50 Cent's feud with Big Meech couldn't get any wilder, his old nemesis Benzino decided to stir the pot. Now, Benzino is out here claiming that the real reason 50 has beef with Meech isn't about loyalty or street codes. It's straight up jealousy. According to Benzino, 50 has been low-key obsessed with Meech for years, trying to mirror his legacy and take his spot. But now that Meech is still getting love from the streets, even after 50 tried to brand him as a snitch, Benzino says 50 is spiraling. And surprisingly, a lot of fans are starting to see Benzino's point, questioning whether 50's whole agenda is just bitter envy. But let's be real, Benzino and 50's history is already messier than a soap opera. So some folks are saying this ain't even about Meech. It's just another excuse for Benzino to take shots at 50. After all, Benzino never bounced back after 50, and Eminem tag team to end his career, and some believe he's still salty about it to this day. So what's Benzino really trying to accomplish by inserting himself into 50's beef with Meech? And more importantly, how did 50 respond to getting called out again? Well, it looks like Benzino was feeling left out of the chaos, so he just had to jump into 50's latest feud. Let's break it all down. Benzino is out here claiming that 50 used to be a full-blown Big Meech fanboy, but got bitter when he realized he could never be on his level. He's painting 50 as someone who idolized Meech but flipped the script out of pure jealousy. But that's not where it ends. Benzino also put 50 on blast for being a massive hypocrite. He pointed out that 50 had zero issues making money off Meech's story with his BMF series, even though there were already whispers about Meech snitching, courtesy of federal informant Tammy Cowens. So why was it cool back then? And why is 50 suddenly screaming snitch now that Meech and Rick Ross are on good terms? Benzino says it's all about pettiness. But wait, it gets even crazier, because in that same interview, Benzino actually claimed he never had any real beef with 50. Yeah, 50 would probably laugh in his face over that one.
50 knew about that situation with Tammy Cowens and all that. Everybody did. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? He didn't give a He wanted to make money and exploit the situation. Plus, he was a fan.
Their bad blood goes way too deep, stretching all the way back to the early 2000s when Benzino first came for Eminem. And everybody knows, if you go after M, you're automatically on 50's hit list. It all kicked off in 2002 when the Eminem Show dropped, and The Source, which Benzino had ties to, only gave it 4 out of 5 mics. M wasn't having it. He felt like Benzino was purposely holding back the perfect score just because of his race. From there, it was war.
He was a Meech fan. Let's make it clear. 50 couldn't, everybody wanted to be a Big Meech. Everybody wanted to be on the block and do what Meech did. There's no question. Whether that's the right type of thinking or not, we're not gonna talk about that. But you could best be clear, 50 wanted to be a Big Meech. He just wasn't able to do it. He didn't accomplish it. But guess what, Curtis? You accomplished something being a rapper. So just take that. It wasn't in you to be a Big Meech. You didn't survive. You almost didn't survive that. It wasn't in you, but he was a fan of, admired Big Meech.
Benzino fired back with 2 diss tracks, but it was Pull Your Skirt Up that really sent shockwaves. In it, he straight up called M a fraud, accused him of being a culture vulture, and even labeled him the 2003 Vanilla Ice. And that was just the beginning of the madness. Benzino later told MTV that calling Eminem a culture vulture wasn't just about M himself. It was about the industry machine and what he saw as double standards in hip-hop. According to Benzino, certain media outlets were obsessed with Eminem, hyping him up as the savior of hip-hop while ignoring the very people who built the culture from the ground up. Eminem is just the hood ornament for the machine, Benzino said. You think I could grab my crotch and put my sats in people's faces the way he does? No way. But because his skin color and eye color fit what America wants, suddenly it's all good. Pull your skirt up.
And rushes and says, hey, I want to do the story. He didn't care about Tammy Cowens then, right? And got his son, put him through acting school, got his son to play it, his dad. Like, how dope was that? So he does something so amazing just to own it because of his emotional traumas. Again, mad because this took a picture or is doing business with somebody that you don't like. This is what you do? Oh no, bro. No, man, he's a man trapped in a kid's mentality. He has a man's body trapped in somebody who's probably 22, 23. That thinking that's not a man thinking. Like 50's what? 50's almost 50 now?
50 is 50, I believe.
Yeah, 50's 50. So, what the is that? Like, there's so many layers of that are both and up, bro. 50 knew about that situation with Tammy Cowens and all that. Everybody did. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? He didn't give a He wanted to make money and exploit the situation. Plus, he was a fan. Now, because this man takes a picture with Ross, you go and do this. Number one, it's dangerous, homie, because Meech is loved. He's loved. He's loved. And number two, it shows how weak you are.
But that wasn't the only shot he fired. Benzino also tried to paint Eminem as soft, claiming that instead of handling beef like a real rapper, M had to run to his manager to clean up the mess for him. Well, M wasn't about to let that fly. He snapped into full Slim Shady mode, dropping 4 brutal diss tracks aimed directly at Benzino, one after the other, with no mercy. And this is where Benzino crossed the line. Feeling the heat, he fired back with Die Another Day, but this time, he took things way too far. Instead of keeping it lyrical, he dragged Eminem's daughter Haley into the beef, and not in a subtle way. Not only did he name-drop Haley, but he went as far as to make a disturbing threat, referencing JonBenet Ramsey, the 6-year-old beauty queen who was tragically killed in her own home. Benzino rapped, "Tell Haley it ain't safe no more. Daddy better watch your back at the candy store. We fucked up, resort to plan B. If around, she end up like JonBenet Ramsey."
Me and Eminem got in the room and M just heard why I did what I did and just would understand. Then maybe he would, that's all. I mean, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny because I would love to step in the ring with Royce or Eminem. And then we could do it like men. I mean, we got gloves on. And after we could shake hands and all this would be over with. Because there's a lot of...
The moment that bar dropped, everyone knew Benzino had taken things to a dark place. But when he got called out for it, he tried to justify it, claiming he was just giving M a taste of his own medicine. He insisted that Eminem started it first by mentioning his son on tracks like Nail in the Coffin and The Sauce. But let's be real, there's a huge difference between calling someone out and threatening their child. And after that, there was no coming back for Benzino. Benzino really tried to justify dragging Haley into the beef, claiming he was just giving Eminem the same energy. But then in a later interview with MTV, he backpedaled hard, downplaying the whole situation and acting like he never meant for it to be a full-blown feud. He tried to spin it as a cultural debate, saying, "I wasn't really trying to beef with Eminem. I was just standing up for hip-hop and calling out the industry favoritism."
You don't look bad, I do. You can never look bad. Because see, in this world, you ain't doing nothing wrong. It would be wrong if I did. Can't you get that through your head? You're not looking bad, Shauna. You're looking like a good chick. Hey, it's just a chick and she tried. I'm looking wrong because what the you doing trying with a trans? Don't always, like a trans thing is always going to come up in certain ways, but it doesn't take away who you are and the qualities that you have. That's all I'm saying. So it is what it is.
I'm gonna try not to be selfish. Okay, since you're saying I'm being selfish.
Yeah, because you're not thinking about me and what I could be going through. That's not fair. Because people are cruel and my world would be fair.
Benzino doubled down on his long-standing argument, saying hip-hop came from the streets but had been taken over by corporate interests. Hip-hop breathes life into a lot of people, but the industry controls who gets to tell their stories. My issue wasn't just with M, it was with the machine behind him. He also pointed out what he saw as a major double standard. Eminem could rap about his personal struggles, his pain, his family issues, even violent fantasies. But Black and Latino artists weren't given the same freedom. Eminem gets to talk about his issues, killing his mother, beating his girl, drug addiction. We have to rock the party just to get spins on the radio. We have to entertain more than expose our true issues, Benzino said. But when we try to put our pain out there, the machine doesn't want to hear it. And let's be clear, this wasn't just a quick one-time war of words. Between 2002 and 2004, Benzino and Eminem were locked in a bitter battle, dropping multiple diss tracks, throwing shots at every opportunity, and keeping the hip-hop world glued to the drama. At one point, their feud even got tangled up in the whole 50 Cent versus Ja Rule situation, turning an already explosive beef into a full-scale rap war that had everybody choosing sides. Eventually, things started to cool down, at least on Eminem's side. In 2005, he made it official with Like Toy Soldiers, a track where he basically declared he was done with petty rap beefs. He made it clear that he wanted to focus on unity instead of getting caught up in endless feuds. But guess who wasn't ready to let it go? Yep, Benzino.
That you was getting hands and feet put on, stabbed up. You had no money to get to the hospital. If I helped you out, wouldn't I be cool with you after that?
Fast forward to 2018, and out of nowhere, Benzino decided to revive the beef. And this time, he wasn't just coming for Eminem, he went straight for his fans too. When Revival dropped, Benzino wasted no time calling it trash and clowning M's fan base on Twitter. He wrote, "Can somebody tell these weirdo M fans that in this culture of hip-hop, they are the subculture? Meaning nobody gives a flying F about anything they have to say when it comes to him right now. The album is trash, so take the L and move on." At this point, Eminem had been ignoring Benzino for over a decade, but somehow Benzino still couldn't let it go. Then, in February 2021, he took things to another level when he sat down for an interview with Queensflip and straight up challenged Eminem to a boxing match. Yes, you read that right. But that wasn't all. Benzino kept pushing the idea that his real issue with Eminem wasn't personal. Instead, he claimed he was just holding M accountable, saying that nobody in the industry ever calls him out for his problematic lyrics. So was this about hip-hop integrity, or was Benzino just looking for one last shot at relevance? Either way, the obsession never seemed to die. Benzino didn't just stop at calling Eminem out, he claimed that the entire industry was protecting him. He ranted about how even Mike Tyson, during his interview with Eminem, never questioned him about his past controversies. "Nobody ever brings it up. Nobody talks about what he did," Benzino said. "But no matter what we do, a blogger or podcaster can't wait to put our business on blast. He's so protected. I've never seen anybody more protected than him." Then, Benzino brought up Foolish Pride, a track Eminem recorded back in 1993 that was leaked by The Source, Benzino's own magazine, in 2003. In the song, M made disrespectful comments about black women, which The Source used to expose him. But when the track resurfaced, Eminem fired back, saying that Benzino was pushing a vendetta against him. He admitted that Foolish Pride was something he wrote when he was just 15 years old, an angry, immature kid going through a breakup. "The tape was something I made out of anger, stupidity, and frustration when I was a teenager," Eminem explained. "I had just broken up with my girlfriend, who was African American, and I reacted like the angry, stupid kid I was. I hope people take it for the foolishness that it was and not what somebody is trying to turn it into today." But guess what? Even in 2022, Benzino still wasn't done stirring the pot. It all started when Money Man tweeted that he had never listened to Eminem. Benzino wasted no time jumping in, replying, "Nobody in my hood did."
Stop. No. I'll tell them no. I'll tell them not. I'll tell them no, okay? Just stop. Stop, please. Stop. Stop. No. Just you're not there. Okay. Just stop. Give me the knife.
Call him, please.
No, I'm not. Give me the knife. No. No, okay. Stop, okay. Come on. No. Give me the knife. I will tell them to know to come. I'll call them back.
That's when a social media user clapped back, challenging Benzino to say it to Eminem's face instead of constantly sneak dissing. "Say it to M's face, I bet you won't. You're a poor excuse for a father and a human being."
Okay, first and foremost, I just want to let everybody know that I'm okay, all right? Second of all, I want to let everybody know that was a rehearsal for a Tubi movie, all right? My girl was helping me out, we was doing a script reading, and that was a rehearsal for a Tubi movie. That was a scene from a movie, okay? I would never, ever put my hands on any woman. I've never done that in my life. That's for cowards. And I surely wouldn't do anything to hurt myself. So, shout out to all the people that was concerned, but I'm okay, all right? Oh, yeah, and I also want to let Curtis know, good looking. Thanks, Curtis, for promoting me. Keep on posting me, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Hey, post this, you want to post something? I'm in that gym heavy, benching 315. What you doing, Curtis? Anyways, happy holidays to all and stay.
Benzino, never one to back down, immediately responded. In a now deleted post, he tagged Eminem directly, ready to take the feud to the next level. Benzino wasn't just talking, he was wilding at this point. He clapped back hard, saying, "I'll say it to his face, but he's scared, coward, just like his fan base." And he didn't stop there. He went on a full rant, clowning Eminem's fans, calling them the most corniest, non-violent, coward fan base hip-hop has ever seen. Then, in a bizarre move, he actually posted his own address, challenging M's fans to pull up. Benzino wrote, "I have a restaurant in Atlanta, 5071 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, Chamblee, Georgia. Stop tweeting and pull up on me. Star." Then, in another follow-up post, he doubled down. "I've been left this suckers alone, but since these coward-ass stans still want to talk C's and hide behind their screens, it still fucks Eminem. And if you got a problem with me, do something about it. Nothing you ever said has affected me in any way. I know how to fight and I got big sticks, so pull up now. Star." At this point, Eminem wasn't even acknowledging Benzino anymore. The feud had turned into one-sided chaos, with Benzino just shouting into the void. But you know who saw an opportunity to keep the flames going? 50 Cent. By September 2022, 50 decided to pick up right where Eminem left off, and he loved every second of it. He took to social media to troll Benzino, throwing shade not just at him, but also at Young Buck. 50 accused both of secretly being into trans women, and that's when things took a whole new messy turn, because suddenly, videos of trans model and actress Shauna Brooke surfaced, allegedly showing her on the phone with Benzino. And from there, the drama exploded. With 50 Cent now in full troll mode, the Benzino saga took a wild new turn. As soon as those leaked phone call recordings of trans model Shauna Brooks and Benzino hit the internet, the hip-hop world erupted. In the audio, Shauna could be heard having what sounded like a very personal conversation with Benzino, where he was allegedly stressing about how their connection would affect his public image. The clips went viral instantly, and 50 wasted zero time making sure everybody saw them. Posting about it on Instagram, 50 relentlessly clowned Benzino, saying, "Young Buck, Benzino, just embrace who you are, but stop acting like you weren't outside, LOL."
That, you know.
That's a jealous man, you know that. I mean, I don't feel like going back. There's some niggas, because he's a jealous man, insecure man. These are insecure because of a real confident. Don't do that to other niggas. It's sucker to make yourself look good at another demise. Like, that's sucker shit. We don't do that. Like, that's not. There are certain things about being a man, right? And I was fortunate to have a father that was there in my life. Even though he was in jail, I still visited him and I still got the messages. Guys like 50, I don't think their father was around to give them the message of how to be a man. Because that's not manly. Yeah, we go back to the trolling and we don't do that. We don't, step on a nigga down. And it shows envy and jealousy, like, you know what I'm saying? We can, and trolling is the new word for it, but there is no new word for it in the hood. It's just not good.
Benzino, of course, wasn't having it. He went into full-blown damage control mode, furiously denying the claims and blasting Shauna for what he called a setup. He took to Twitter firing off, "This is straight-up clout chasing. I've never been with any trans person in my life. These people are trying to ruin my name with fake narratives. The internet is full of lies." But by this point, it was too late. The internet was already running wild with memes, jokes, and endless commentary. Shauna, on the other hand, refused to back down. She clapped back in interviews, saying she never claimed to have been in a relationship with Benzino, but insisted that their conversations did happen and that she was tired of being treated like a dirty little secret. Meanwhile, 50 Cent kept pouring gas on the fire, posting even more memes and captions, dragging Benzino. It was clear this was a fight Benzino wasn't going to win. The situation quickly spiraled into one of the messiest public scandals Benzino had ever faced. And with 50 still trolling and Shauna standing firm on her side of the story, it didn't look like the drama was dying down anytime soon. And just when you thought things couldn't get any messier, Shauna Brooks dropped a diss track aimed directly at Benzino. Of course, 50 had to jump in on the action. Wasting zero time, he took to social media to clown Benzino even harder, posting, "Yo, is Shauna rapping better than Benzino? This silly kind of fire, you know he wanna say it. Star." At this point, Benzino was completely fed up. He continued denying any involvement with Shauna Brooks, calling the whole situation a setup. But no matter how hard he tried to clear his name, 50 wasn't letting up. Benzino even tried to flip the script, reminding people that he had actually helped 50 Cent early on in his career, especially after the infamous stabbing incident at the Hit Factory back in 2000. He hinted that 50's relentless trolling was extra shady considering their history. But let's be real, once you're on 50's bad side, it's a wrap, there's no coming back. And 50 kept proving that point. His trolling didn't just continue, it got even worse. By December of last year, 50 decided to take things to the next level, posting a video of Benzino in a deeply emotional moment, seemingly threatening to take his own life. In the caption, 50 claimed the meltdown happened after Benzino's ex-girlfriend Ashley Bell called the cops on him, allegedly for putting his hands on her. The internet went crazy. People were shocked, debating whether the clip was real or just another trolling exaggeration. But Benzino quickly fired back, claiming the video was completely taken out of context. He insisted it wasn't what people thought, it was just a movie rehearsal and the scene was never meant to be taken seriously. But let's be honest, nobody was buying that excuse. And with 50 Cent still in full troll mode, it was clear Benzino wasn't just fighting one battle anymore, he was fighting the entire internet. Fans weren't buying it for a second. They were convinced Benzino was pulling the classic, "I'm gonna do something drastic" card after his girlfriend tried to leave him. And with the rumors that she had even tried to report him to the police, people were side-eyeing every excuse he threw out there. Meanwhile, Benzino kept insisting he was above 50's trolling, but let's be real, his actions told a different story. Just a couple of months ago, he randomly went off on 50 again, this time over 50 trolling Jay-Z about his connections to Diddy. Benzino rushed to Jay's defense, claiming that 50 was just bitter and jealous and had nothing better to do than stir up drama, but at this point, everybody saw the pattern. Benzino loves playing the victim when things get too messy, but let's not forget, he's no stranger to stirring the pot himself. He's built a whole reputation off trolling, creating drama, and then flipping the script whenever the heat gets too real. So now, fans are saying they just can't take him seriously when he calls 50 petty and immature, because Benzino's own track record is full of messy antics. But here's the real question. What do you think? Does Benzino actually have a point about 50 Cent being jealous of Big Meech? Or is this just another case of Benzino trying to deflect attention from his own mess? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you don't want to miss any of the latest drama, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.